I'm amazed. I did not expect Hitler to get so many meeting requests. First from Joe Biden, now from Mika and Joe. It's amazing that literal Hitler is getting all these meeting requests. And what it tells me, Professor, is that all the rhetoric that came from the left, from the Democrats, from the White House, from Kamala Harris and everyone else before the election, all of the rhetoric, the fascism, the Hitler, the Nazi rally, it was all a bunch of BS. They didn't mean any of it. And if I were in the Democrat sort of rabble's shoes, I would be looking at all my leaders and going, did you just BS me for an entire 6 weeks before the election?
I just reread.
The election, the entire country relates with Trump right now. Won all the swing states. The only states she won were the ones that you didn't need ID to vote in. It would have been interesting if you needed ID, how that would have played out too. I think that the whole country, it feels like somebody hit the reset button.
Something's going on in the air, right? It feels like a great, I don't know why. Ever since Trump won, it seems like people are more okay to be openly supporting of Trump. Everyone's hitting the dance, you know. You got Christian Pulisic. As you guys know, I'm a big soccer fan, football fan, because, you know, my son's playing soccer and I'm trying to understand the game. So Christian Pulisic is here hitting the Trump. That's what we're gonna call it. Hit the Trump. Hit the Trump. Look, this man is a cultural icon right now, and I think many people on the left is realizing that. Like let's be honest, they're realizing that. They say culture is downstream from they say politics is downstream from culture, and if the culture is we stand behind Donald Trump, how you can fight against that? Check it out. Look at this. Joe Rogan talked about it too, how he said, hey, a lot of my liberal friends, a lot of my liberal friends were shy Trump supporters. Like, imagine, shy Trump supporters. Trump won, bro. Trump won. So now, I got to go back to the topic of this video, what this video is really about, Kenny. So this video, as you saw, we want to talk about the fact that Joe Scarborough from Morning Joe is getting destroyed right now by, Sonny Holston. Hitler's getting more meeting requests than I would have thought. Morning Joe host blistered over attempts to restart communications with Trump. Imagine, you haven't talked to this guy, Donald Trump, in 7 years since he became the Republican nominee. Right. And it's so fascinating how many people are getting so pissed off. So all that stuff about Trump being a fascist was a load of crap. NBC viewers are the biggest dupes on the earth. And this probably has to do something with the fact that MSNBC is not getting a lot of ratings right now. Right. Joe Scarborough is probably trying to protect his job at this point, because you know what they say. Everyone is a partisan until their own interest is conflicted. Right. And this is the things I always talk about, is that no one is going to do things that goes against their best interest. And right now, their best interest is to keep this lucrative job. I don't know how much Joe Scarborough is getting paid. I'll probably check it out. But before I continue on the heat that Joe Scarborough is getting for going out and talking to Trump from the left, I want to show you a clip of how they were before Trump won the election and how they're acting now. Let's take a look.
And then he says that the news network that is most critical of him should be taken off the air. This is not a reach. I could go back and talk about Nazi Germany, and I do it without any concerns whatsoever. And if people can't start drawing the parallels, well, you're just stupid, or you have your head in the sand, or you're one of them.
Over the past week, Joe and I have heard from so many people, from political leaders to regular citizens, deeply dismayed by several of President-elect Trump's cabinet selections, and they are scared. Last Thursday, we expressed our own concerns on this broadcast and even said we would appreciate the opportunity to speak with the president-elect himself. On Friday, we were given the opportunity to do just that. Joe and I went to Mar-a-Lago to meet personally with President-elect Trump. It was the first time we have seen him in 7 years.
Now, we talked about a lot of issues, including abortion, mass deportation, threats of political retribution against political opponents, and media outlets. We talked about that a good bit. And it's going to come as no surprise to anybody who watches this show, has watched it over the past year or over the past decade, that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of issues, and we told him so.
What we did agree on was to restart communications. My father often spoke with world leaders with whom he and the United States profoundly disagreed. That's a task shared by reporters and commentators alike. We had not spoken to President Trump since March of 2020, other than a personal call Joe made to Trump on the morning after the attempt on his life in Butler, Pennsylvania. In this meeting, President Trump was cheerful, he was upbeat, he seemed interested in finding common ground with Democrats on some of the most divisive issues. And for those asking why we would go speak to the president-elect during such fraught times, especially between us, I guess I would ask back, why wouldn't we? 5 years of political warfare has deeply divided Washington and the country. We have been as clear as we know how in expressing our deep concerns about President Trump's actions and words in the coarsening of public debate. But for nearly 80 million Americans, election denialism, public trials, and January 6th were not as important as the issues that moved them to send Donald Trump back to the White House with their vote. Joe and I realize it's time to do something different, and that starts with not only talking about Donald Trump, but also talking with him.
So yeah, they're singing a different tune, and the left, the progressives, these MSNBC viewers, they're really mad about this, right? And this is what I'm talking about. They like to call everyone far right and all this stuff. They like to call Trump a far right, but he won the popular vote. He competed for the popular vote. He won the electoral college in a landslide. And here you guys are calling him far right, fascist. This, you think half the country is far right? You think half the country is Nazis? You think half the country is fascist, authoritarians, dictators, racist, sexist? Like, these are people who don't want to look at themselves in the mirror. They don't want to take any accountability for how they contributed to this. Donald Trump, former Democrat. Elon Musk, former Democrat. RFK, former Democrat, probably still a Democrat. Tulsi Gabbard, former Democrat. And they still don't get the message? The walkaway movement in 2016. It was people leaving the Democratic Party and becoming conservative or independent. Walking away from the Democrats since 2016. And the left still has not gotten the message. They still have not gotten the memo. Annals of shamelessness. They call Trump a fascist, much more. And then just 22 days after his Nazi-like rally, they fly to Florida for an audience. Afterwards, they say, we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but they want to restart communication. What? Baron York said, Tangerine Hitler's fascist who will kill his enemies, says the foes who visit his plush resort, sat down with him and laughed while sharing a margarito. A mojito, I don't know how to say it. MSNBC, Joe Scarborough and Mika went to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Trump and agreed to restart their relationship, proving yet again that Democrats never actually thought Trump was Hitler or a fascist dictator. If you were a propagandist, it's okay. You got played. Usual Dem playbook, another said. It is. Trump is running on, remember when Harris said, Trump is running on fear, we're running on joy. Who's running on fear and who's running on joy? See, and you see why I say that I think left people who vote Democrat are more radicalized than people who vote Republican, right? Like, make it make sense. Oh, Trump's political rhetoric is the reason why political violence is happening to Trump. And I go, usually if you're saying someone's pushing violent rhetoric, it's usually against his opponent, not himself. When did Trump become suicidal? That's been a talking point that I've been hearing a lot. And this is why I laugh when you got Destiny out here, this famous left-wing streamer or whatever he is, saying, oh, no, violent political rhetoric from the right. What violent political rhetoric? You call Donald Trump a threat to democracy. You got people on C-SPAN calling people saying, "Oh, I don't. They should have gotten that. He had to do what he had to do." I just showed you an article, not an article, but on a live stream I did a woman bludgeoned her father to death after Trump won the election. She snapped. Married to a trans writer. That should tell you everything you know about her political ideology. She was happy. She said she wanted to show a statement that familiar ties don't matter. You got Democrats saying, don't go to Thanksgiving. This is the left. But they pretend they're so tolerant. No. I see, like, as a black conservative, I saw through their a facade a long time ago. They're only tolerant as long as you abide by what they want you to abide by. The minute you deviate from them, you get all the racism, all the attacks, and then they're going to say, oh, look, Nazis are openly showing themselves now. I'm like, yeah, they're probably Democratic actors at this point. Because, like, for what? Oh, look, you're getting racist text messages. Of course I am. Because Democrats are mad that the Negroes didn't vote the way they wanted to. Like, this is just, it's so funny to me how, like, the narrative is just collapsing in real time. And then they trying to, oh, but it was just politics. Oh, let's cool the temperature down. But you're mad they went to go meet with Hitler, Tangerine Hitler. Okay. These people are so hypocritical, bro. And I there was a comment I saw, I think it was from Tim Pool. He said something that left-wing narratives are downstream from hoaxes. So made up assumptions, made up things, made up liberal imagination of what they think Trump is going to do. Oh my God, Trump said he was going to do this. And then he was like, yo, Trump never said that. You assumed he was going to do this. And that seems like that's what liberal narratives are all based on. Imagination. Liberals fear more from imagination than from reality. And that's what the Trump presidency represents. You got Fetterman out here saying, yo, it's not even Thanksgiving yet, and y'all already freaking out on every little thing Trump does. But they want to pretend that we're the fragile one. The left, man, y'all got a lot of work to do. Y'all got a lot of work to do. But that's just my thoughts. I didn't want to make a long video on this one. I mean, what do you expect? Like, what do you expect? These people want to keep their jobs. Massive layoffs are happening. Right? They realize that, yo, we're not talking to a majority of Americans. We're alienating a majority of Americans. Even The View is looking for a more pro-Trump voice. Right? Allegedly, that's rumors. But they're trying to have something to reevaluate their preconceived notions. They're acting on this imagination that, oh, we're the majority. They had no proof of that. And then they got proof of it. And now look at them. They're all changing their tune. But hey, we'll see. I don't think this is going to save MSNBC, but hey, maybe it'll save Joe Scarborough, maybe 3 more years on the spotlight, and then he out of there. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What you guys think about this recent move from Joe Scarborough? Do you think it was an act of self-preservation? Do you think he actually changed his ways? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be interested to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.